Morning, poetry lovers. This is Elisa Parmer here. This morning I'm going to read an original poem, and it's just really a reflection on some poignant moments in my life. And I think of poetry as a medium where we really are trying to immortalize things that are so fleeting as some kind of rebellion against the way of the world. So that's what this poem really is. It's called Some Things Are Always True. I have 2 freckles under my left eye. The people who love me, they love these freckles. They touch them with their fingertips, like they're following a map of the constellations, trying to find their way home. When I was a child, they would multiply in the summertime. My cheeks were speckled with these freckles. They would whisper to the world that I was alive. In those days, I rose early in the morning. Mom always bought cornflakes for breakfast. If you were a mother, never buy cornflakes for breakfast, for the cornflake factory is where cereal goes to die. After breakfast, I threw on my brother's hand-me-downs and went galloping into the woods. The first mission was to find that perfect stick that would become that perfect sword, because me and my friends, we were saving the world. This is still my first mission when I go into the wood. Some things are always true. When my brother played video games, we always played by lives. And as soon as you died, it was the next player's turn. My turns only ever lasted about 45 seconds. This never prevented me from trying. I hope that when this body dies, it's that quick. My drink of choice then was Shirley Temple's extra cherries. I drank them because I loved Shirley Temple. I wanted a butler to dance with on the stairs. My grandmother owned every one of her movies. They all had that same commercial at the beginning. It makes me tear up a little when I see it now. Some things are always true. In the autumn, we had the biggest leaf pile. Raking was an endless job. My dad would have us pick up sticks before he mowed the lawn. We lived in the woods. I still think this is stupid. Some things are always true. On my street, we had the biggest yard with the biggest hill, with the longest trail. In the winter, we would build the biggest ramp out of snow. If the snow packed just right, you would fly for days. For Christmas that year, I got leather boots with 3 flowers on the side. The flowers lit up when I walked. I wore them every day. I also had an affinity for vests. I would steal them from my brother's closet. They made me feel like a superhero. I still feel this way. In elementary school, my mom made me wear dresses, and I would sometimes lie about having gym so that I could wear pants. I never got picked last for teams. When I hit puberty, all this changed. When I was in 5th grade, my brother cried and told me he didn't know if there was a God. I remember thinking, you're not allowed to think that. That year, I followed the trail through the woods. It opened to the trailer park. My friend Christopher lived in the first house at the wood's end. In 6th grade, Christopher got a black light in his bedroom. That was the coolest thing ever. We would draw on ourselves with highlighters so our tattoos would glow in the dark. I had my first kiss that year. I have always regretted it. Some things are always true. In 7th grade, my favorite band was Korn. Korn, but the R is flipped backwards. My brother bought all their CDs and we listened to them over and over. That year, it was no longer popular to listen to popular music, so we listened to metal. At school dances, somebody always requested Stairway to Heaven as a slow dance. Nobody knew what it was about, but the boys would cross the floors, sweaty palms, to ask the girls to dance. And we would dance, sweating and shaking, quickly realizing that Stairway to Heaven is too long a song to slow dance to. In 8th grade, I sat on the bench for half the basketball season. My brother ordered dial-up internet that year. He forgot to pick me up from practice one day. I was stuck with Mr. Chronister after practice for 2 hours. When I called home, the line was constantly busy. When my brother did pick me up, he told me he was playing an online video game. This was the year I knew that neither of us had game. In ninth grade, my brother convinced me to try out for the band front. He wanted me to start high school out right. I did him one better. I joined chorus and the spring musical too. My junior year, I asked a boy I hardly knew to the prom. Nobody hardly knew him. My senior year, Jordan pierced his lip, joined the basketball team and the football team. He started dating the popular girls at school. I was not one of them. Some things are always true. I don't get freckles in the summertime anymore. And I don't wear hand-me-downs. I buy my clothes from the store. These days, I hardly ever play video games. And in adulthood, I can listen to pop without shame. The stores, they don't make light-up shoes in my size, but I still have these 2 freckles under my eyes. And when somebody touches them, I still feel alive. Some things are always true. Happy Good Friday.